Welcome back to another episode of Walk with Your Boy. I know it's been a long time, but hey, man, you want to start something, or you want to begin something, or you want to keep it going, or you want to start back up? Ain't nothing, no time like the present. So yeah, I'm back, y'all. I know it's been a long time since I did a live, but I'm back. I hope that this music ain't too much, but I'm in my little personal gym area, chilling. But yeah, man, I got some topics I'm gonna talk about today. Bear with me, because I might start ranting, but that's cool. I want to talk about that little story that everybody's talking about right now with the tariffs, because it's a little story. It really don't affect us because all prices that of shit that's coming into the country affects the government, not us. And I've been looking at how people been up in arms about this shit for a while, and it don't make no sense. You got average everyday Joes that don't do shit but go to work, come home, and buy groceries, watch TV, that's tripping out over tariffs from one country to another. Somebody was talking about the produce and stuff coming from China. There is no way produce is coming from China. Y'all think about this. If we got stuff coming on a boat from another country, it's going to take weeks, if not months, for this stuff to be transported, offloaded, to make it to your shelf. Think about that. Let's say they put, you know, 2 to 3 tons of apples or whatever fruit they have over there in China, and they send it to America, so they got to put it into a shipping container. So that shipping container, for one, gotta be refrigerated, right? And it's got to be able to sustain that those fruits in there for the time period. So how long does a shipping container stays refrigerated? Well, it depends on what type of fuel they use. Do they use electricity? Do they use gas? If they use gas, that means the people on the ship has to refill the hoppers on these freaking containers to make sure that they keep running so the produce can stay fresh. Just think about this, guys. Because when we ship stuff locally, we do it in 18 wheelers. We have trucks with open beds on it. So we don't really ship anything like we used to, especially vegetables and stuff. If the vegetables we do ship are shipped in a container, they're inside of a refrigerated container or a refrigerated freaking shipping container. So the rest of that shit, man, why are we even worried about these people sending food over there when we know it's not even possible? By the time this shit make it here, it's gonna be spoiled. You can only freeze fruits and vegetables for so long before when you get ready to thaw them out, they're gonna be still viable. And let's say they picked them you know, unripened. So they'll have time to grow and shit like that. Well, think about it, man. If they pick them unripe and when they get here, they grown, what type of nutritional value are they gonna have? I'm still under the assumption that they not gonna even be able to ship no shit like that. It takes weeks, if not months, for cargo to be shipped from one of these other countries. We ain't talking about no little appliance that you order from Temu or some shit like that. We talking about enough food to support, you know, the American people. It don't make sense how people are making up these lies about this shit. Because if it was the truth, then we would have evidence right in our face. They're not They're not shipping no food over here from these other countries, y'all. Everything is grown and transported in-house, meaning that we got 50 states. Matter of fact, we actually got 52 states if you count Mexico and Canada. If these people grow shit and they selling it to us, that's more than enough for us to do. But we know that that's not the case. Canada don't send us no food. Canada send us wood. Nigga, that's our shit anyway. Mexico don't send us shit but free labor. That's it. All they send us is laborers. So ain't nobody sending us nothing, man. If you want to find out where your groceries come from, you need to look in your state. This is what a lot of people don't understand. Your state is bigger than you think it is. Even down to the smallest one like New York or some shit like that. Man, they got farmers growing shit year round in freaking high tunnels and greenhouses that supply enough food 5 times the amount from the state. If we ship food to these other countries, guess what will happen? That shit will be spoiled by the time they get there. Their regulations ain't even close to ours. That shit could sit in port for months. Same thing here. Look how they held up the dockyards like not too long ago with that damn ship that was blocking the canal. Man, that shit was sitting there for months. What about the cargo that was in it? If it was food, all that shit's spoiled. It's stupid for us to think that people are going to ship food thousands of miles away. Cattle too. What you gonna risk your cattle being washed overboard? No, man. Everything we do is in-house. Everything. There's nothing that's outsourced when it deals with food. You know, they might be able to send processed foods like cereals, luncheon meat, and shit like that. But just regular vegetables? Hell no. Regular meat? Hell no. I mean, if we buying meat from them, we would know it when we get it because the shit would be it would be aged meat. Now I'm not saying we buy food from them, aged meat and shit like that, Wagyu and all that stuff. But that's in such a small quantity that that's not gonna make a difference for the average person that's out there, like the person that was complaining about tariffs. Man, you paying gas prices that's high and food prices is high because of your state representatives. That's why. See, when the price goes up on shit, it's not just going up because somebody decided to sell some shit that's valuable. It's not just going up because we lost a dealer or a seller or a manufacturer. It's not going up because of that. You guys don't realize that the shit's going up because of greedy politicians in your state. They getting kickbacks from these businesses. There's no business in your state that doesn't have to answer to your state representatives. The bigger your state, the more money your state fucking brings in. Look at your politicians. Some of them are like movie stars. It's because these people are fucking leeching off of us and blaming it on the federal government. It's not a mystery. And that's why videos like this of mine will never get any play. Only a few people will be able to see these videos because once I start talking about this stuff, man, it becomes obvious. And you don't think that corporations and governments pay for airtime? Yeah. I mean, they got channels and shit. So you don't think that they pay to have your airtime stunted or shrunk? You don't think they pay to have you like blackballed and shit on these platforms? Hell yeah. And they do it the way, this is how they do it. Anytime you start talking about something they don't like, all they got to do is push a button. And your shit don't even get played. Not to the number of people that it usually would get played to. For instance, How many times have you gotten on a live and people ain't talking about shit? They're on there arguing, gossiping, scrapping with each other, just flat out, just non-productive. And they got thousands of people in the chat. They want us to be like this. They want us to be apprehensive and not use social media for what it actually is for. Man, if all of these content creators would take their power and turn it into something positive, man, they wouldn't have a leg to stand on. None of this shit that's going on right now with like prices and shit would be happening. None of that shit. We ain't gotta wait on no fucking tariffs to make America fucking rich again. All we gotta do is get on these motherfucking local politicians and stop them from raising prices artificially just because they say we're going through a damn recession on the news. You guys, nobody sees that. Nobody sees that, and I'm thinking these fucking high content creators are suspect. They going along with the shit just because. I mean, you think that they not willing to exchange their platform or the number of watch hours and times and money that they make off this shit for keeping quiet? That the people that's really doing this shit are the local politicians, the ones that nobody actually fucking really knows who gets voted for. Shit, we didn't even know how the votes got done for the presidency. How the fuck we gonna know how the votes get done for here, for your home, for your state and shit? Ain't nobody looking into this shit. Ain't no representatives talking about lowering any taxes or any fucking prices on anything. Because if they were, we would already be fucking, it would be lowered. It would be lowered. They're letting this shit with the president pick up as much steam as they want. So when it gets fully implemented, they're going to come in and they're going to say, tariffs are driving up prices. And that's how this shit's going to get higher, more expensive. When all along, these motherfuckers right here in your own state is pushing the buttons, pulling the levers, and making that shit happen. Gas stations you can't open up a gas station without permission from the state. And then you can't just buy fuel from anybody. You got to buy it from a state-regulated fuel dealer. So you don't think that these people know how much you're paying for fuel, how much they paying for fuel? Hell yeah. They know how much they paying for fuel. Because they the ones make the deals. They're the ones that say, hey, man, fuel prices, we need to buy more fuel for the state because people are driving more or gas prices need to go up to slow people from driving more. So what they do, they negotiate a cheap price to buy the fuel, and then they turn around and mark that shit up 5 to 10 times. Because they got the news telling everybody, hey, we're going through inflation. That's bullshit, man. We're not going through inflation. And the shit with the eggs, come on, y'all. I can't believe people are still falling for this. I've been meaning to talk about this shit on other people's platforms. But check it out. A chicken lays an egg once a day. One chicken, one egg. You got 100 chickens. You're going to get 90% of those chickens to lay eggs if they in a semi-favorable environment. So how many eggs you should have? 90 eggs. The other might lay an egg, might not, but they're all on top of different schedules. So you mean to tell me in 10 days you shouldn't have over 1,000 eggs? Hell yeah, you should be close, if not there, with 1,000 eggs. The chickens don't lay one egg every 24 hours. They lay an egg every day when the sun comes up. So it don't gotta be 24 hours. And they can lay 2 eggs depending on how their production is. I had a chicken one time lay a little tiny egg and then a regular sized egg in the same day. So this shit with the eggs, man, it's just like the shit with the toilet paper. When COVID came, People can't see this shit. But see, with eggs, ain't nobody really hard up for eggs because you don't have to use eggs every day. Eggs is a necessity. See, so they take the necessity shit and they try to turn it. It's not a necessity. Eggs are a luxury, to tell you the truth. But shit like toilet paper was a luxury at first, but now it's a necessity. So they can play with shit like that and fuck up everybody's life. That's done locally. Locally, every state is jockeying for federal funding. So let me tell you something. Your state will make the whole state fall into poverty just so they can ask for emergency funds from the government. When they sitting on billions, if not trillions. If every state actually used their gross domestic product, the GDP, for what it's supposed to be used for, we wouldn't have no debt. We wouldn't have no homelessness. Even the motherfuckers that's sick out there on the streets would get help, voluntarily or involuntarily. But since the states control that shit, and we don't really have a say in it, they could tell us whatever they want to tell us. And we wouldn't have no clue that these people are bringing in cash. Don't pay your mortgage. Don't pay your freaking taxes on your house. And it'd be right on your ass the day after the month that you missed the payment. Because they got people working on collecting that money. And they tell them your salaries depend on this. So they're going to make sure that the state gets paid because that's the way that they get paid. And you find out how many people are paying. Even the people that's written, you are still paying taxes. Your taxes are inside of your monthly payment. That money has to be paid every month on time. And if people are running legitimate businesses, they paying that shit. So these people are continuously taking in tax revenue from the individuals that live in their state, but they acting like they broke. We ain't got fucking flying cars. We ain't got fucking hover trains. None of that shit. Where endless amounts of money is gonna have to be used to pay into this shit to keep it running. Man, we got the basics, necessities. That's it. All the money that these people taking in at these government offices in your state is luxury money for them. That's money to do whatever they think has to be done to fund the government. If that means going on elaborate trips, buying a new wardrobe every fucking month, getting a new hot car so they can be anonymous, then they doing that, man. I'm telling you. The government does not pay for gas. Local government don't pay for gas. That's why they don't care if gas is expensive. That's why they can say raise prices $3, and keep it there for 20 years, regardless if we got enough or not. And see, the average person is driving around complaining about the gas. They're not even looking at the motherfuckers that's driving around anonymously. These government officials driving around incognito in cars that are souped up. They got bodyguards around the clock. Ain't nobody after them. But the reason why they have to have all that shit is because they know if people found out what they was doing, that they would be up in arms. And then there's some stupid people out here that will fucking take it to your door. But ain't nobody saying nothing about that shit. I'm not looking at my phone, y'all. So if you're in the chat, salutes to you. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? I'm just on here ranting, doing my walk with me. But at the same time, think about this shit. We worried about the federal government when we should be worrying about the state government. All your paperwork, everything you do that involves the government involves your state. Nobody files anything with the federal government. Even when you go in the military, you go in the military as a state representative of your military, of your state. When I joined the military, I went to the military from California. They had me as a California serviceman the whole time, 15 years I was in that bitch. And I was over in Guam, Japan, Australia, all kind of shit. Stationed in other parts of the country, Nevada. I was still labeled as a California serviceman. And when I got ready to get out, guess what they was trying to send me to? I already had a home in another state. They trying to send me right back to California, where they signed me up at. I had to change that shit myself. I had to change my PCS when I got ready to get out. If they was going to pay for me to be moved back to California. And I was like, nah, man, I got a house here. Just pay me the money. Just give me the money. It was like, nah, we don't gonna give you the money if you go back to your state. And I was like, what kind of shit is this? So I stayed here and I ain't get shit. I stayed where I'm at and I ain't get shit. And that's because of my state. That ain't got shit to do with the federal government. They need people to be in these states. I'm telling you, if a shitload of people leave these states, these people lose revenue. They lose a reason why they can rise and drop prices. Gavin Newsom, these people don't give a fuck about us, but they'll get on TV and play like they our advocates, and they fighting for us for the federal government with the federal government. Come on, man, these people are not fighting for us. We got to fight them. Some of these people up in office, they not even in there from votes. They in there from selection. Motherfuckers that's been voted in, selected them to come in. And you know how freaking inheritance work. If you inherit the office, then that means somebody else going to inherit the office. They work off of past practices. They don't work off of voting no more here in the States. In the States, you do not get voted for. You get nominated and selected. And then people have the pleasure of voting for you. If they can control who gets represented, man, they're controlling the vote. When they're saying ain't nobody else to vote for except for our people, that's bullshit. Y'all paying attention to the wrong shit, man. The wrong shit. I've been writing letters to my state representatives since I've been out here in Nevada, asking them why y'all ain't trying to lower prices on shit. Why y'all keep raising shit? Why y'all making it difficult for us to live here and then blaming it on the federal government? You know what I get? Crickets. Crickets. These people don't even write back and say, you're wrong. They don't even take the time to do that because ain't enough people holding their feet to the fire. They feel like I'm just one nut out here that fell off the tree and mad about it. See? Shit like that. I guarantee if we use our fucking influence and get people to do this shit on their own level. Don't worry about my shit. I'm doing my shit. Do your state and get everybody in your state to do that shit. You ain't got to do nothing but write a simple ass letter. You ain't even got to do that no more. Let ChatGPT do it. Just type into ChatGPT. Angry, mad about prices. State representatives won't fucking do nothing. Write this out in a letter as if it was a college student or a professional writing it out. Man, that shit will be written out and you can send that shit in, man. Do your part. Stop worrying about fucking Trump and his stupid ass shit. Trump is going to become the first trillionaire president. Y'all don't see this shit. He's stopping all the money that's going to the debt. He's going to be look, Trump is bringing in $50 trillion with the gold card. 50 trillion. You know how much we supposedly owe the national debt? Like 30 something. Trump is going to have more money than the national debt. He could buy America in one foul swoop. You don't think that's what he's going to do? Why you think he got Elon Musk on board? A fucking, businessman from another country. Because he wants to invest in America. Y'all don't understand this shit. Apple invested into America, gave Trump the money, not the fucking U.S. Treasury. Trump the money. Trump is amassing enough wealth, bro. Y'all, he's amassing enough wealth to buy America. Not America, the land. America the corporation. Why you think he told TikTok you can't get in here unless somebody from America buy it? Because he's gonna own it. He's gonna own the trademark United States watch. He's gonna buy all they debt. Trump is just he got enough money coming in with the $5 million per. Hey, look, I just looked at my phone. See? I just looked at my phone and I didn't even see that there's people in the chat. My bad if I say your name wrong. Ray, because I'm on my treadmill and shit. Looking at the screen is kind of hard because it's moving. But salutes, man. I appreciate you coming out. Hit the like button for me, please. Hey, and if you want, man, I don't have that many people come to my lives and shit because this shit's not popular. They're not gonna let this out. You know that YouTube has a main office in every state. YouTube has a main brick and mortar in every state. Look it up. Nobody even looking this shit up. They will not allow anybody of any state to put out anything that's going to be detrimental to their fucking profits. So my whole ordeal is this. If you can't make it happen in your state, you ain't going to make it happen for the United States. I'm telling you. Stop listening to these niggas talking about government. Fuck government. Don't even participate. Man, these are the people that's helping these state officials do this shit. If you got somebody in your state telling them, don't participate in government, they telling you to hide your fucking head. Hide yourself. Be oblivious to what's going on around you. Give away your power. Because I'm telling you, man, that's why these people been getting into power, been able to do this shit. Why you think your senator and your government, your governor and your mayor been able to steal money from you, go on these lavish trips, have these big-ass mansions while you live in impoverished? Because you got motherfuckers that's getting a kickback some kind of way from the government officials talking about, hey, don't participate in government. They trying to steal your energy. I hate these spiritual bitches. I hate these motherfuckers, man. Talking about be spiritual. They don't even know what spiritual is. But they want you, don't let them take your power, your energy. You don't have no energy yourself. And most of these people used to be ex-government officials, ex-government fucking workers that are getting kickbacks, retirements and shit that they probably ain't even supposed to be getting. How the fuck you go and work 4 years for a government, 5 years for a government and start collecting a check? See, and them the same motherfuckers telling you, oh, the government's trying to steal your energy because they want to take your energy and use it for spiritual means. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't nothing spiritual buying me no motherfucking gas. Ain't nothing spiritual fucking paying my mortgage on my house. Ain't none of that shit. These guys just walking around telling people this shit because they know that they gonna get paid from it. They don't need to tally up how many motherfuckers is not participating. All they gotta do is just look at the government. As long as the government is fraud motherfuckers and doing shit the way it's not supposed to, they know it's working. Yep, they know it's working. But that's enough ranting from today. I'll be back on here. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate y'all. The little time that I do have and give you guys, appreciate y'all. I'm making videos all the time. I know it all seems like it's spiritual, but in actuality, it's not. All of this shit, the shit that I talk about on this stuff, is stuff that you can actually use day to day. Actually use day to day. I'm going to give you guys a tidbit every time. Every day, man, is a day to get better. Every day. If you having problems with shit, like I know a lot of people, a lot of guys, especially ex-military guys, suffer from ass-lead feet and what they call that shit on the bottom of your feet is like candida. A lot of you vets are suffering from this shit. And you keep on going to the VA and they giving you these creams that are purposely sabotaging your efforts to curb this shit. But let me tell you something. The power of salt, the power of oil, the anointing is what cures this shit. Epsom salt and castor oil cures athlete's foot. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving no medical advice. I'm just telling you what works. Cures it. Cures toenail fungus. All that shit. Epsom salt and castor oil mixed. Simple shit that's on your over the counter that you had in your house. Epsom salt and castor oil can be consumed. We used to take castor oil when I was a little kid every day, every night. My grandmother used to make us take that shit. It was nasty, man. But I thank God that she put that in me because she was teaching me how to be a real Christian using the oils. When I used to go outside, step on glass or step on a nail or something, when I'm out there doing heathenistic shit barefooted in the dirt. You see what I'm saying? She used to tell me, come in the house, take them shoes, wipe them feet off, put them feet in some water and some Epsom salt. And that shit used to be healed up. I used to be back out there on my heathen mission every fucking day like that. I'm telling you, man, they teaching us the wrong shit because they know that we ignorant. So, athlete's foot, Epsom salt, and castor oil. Epsom salt has magnesium in it that's going to kill fungus. Toenail fungus is hard to get. It needs something harder to kill it, like magnesium. And the castor oil is a penetrating oil, deep penetrating into any surface, concrete, metal, skin, toenails. It's a deep penetrating, and when you mix those two, the magnesium bonds with the castor oil and penetrates and kills the toenail fungus. You ain't gonna find that shit. You can't, ain't no doctor gonna give you that shit. If they do give you a cream with magnesium in it, guess what it's gonna have? 2%. Nigga, what is 2% gonna do for a motherfucker that was suffering with athlete's foot for fucking 10 years? Toenail fungus for 10 years. About to lose his feet because they talking about you diabetic and you going through some kind of diabetic fucking trouble. No, nigga, they amputating these people's feet because they got athlete's feet, severe cases of it that they know that they can cure, but they don't give a fuck about that. They make more money cutting your shit off than they do curing it. So, yep, 2%, just keep you coming back. Just keep you coming back. It just knocks off the edge when that shit's flaring up. And let me tell you something, it flares up worse at night than it does during the day. I'm telling you, I didn't have to suffer through this shit like all my friends did in the military. And they used to ask me, man, y'all be putting Epsom salt and lotion on your feet and shit. They didn't know that it was castor oil. It looked like lotion because once you take that Epsom salt and you whip it up in that castor oil, it makes a froth. It turns white. It like bubbles up. And the more you do that, the better it mixes, the quicker it's going to absorb. Yeah, man. Same thing. We used to drink Epsom salt and water, baking soda and water when we had stomach aches. And that shit used to make you regular. I mean, regular. Same thing with that castor oil. I'm telling you. But every time I come on here, man, they're gonna do the shit that they doing to me. I mean, I've been on this bitch since 2022, and I ain't even got 500 subscribers. And that's so they can deter you from doing what you want to do, which is share information with motherfuckers that's gonna help them. We can get on this bitch all day and argue, cuss and fight, talk about each other's mamas, babies, all kind of shit. And YouTube is promoting that shit, putting it in everybody's reel. But start talking about some shit that's gonna help somebody. Like doing your taxes and itemizing everything. Hell no, you ain't gonna get that off. If everybody did their own taxes and itemized deductions and counted everything that they spent on life expenses, man, you would never have to pay taxes again. That's why they promote fucking H&R Block on this fucking platform. TurboTax. Free taxes. Come get your taxes done today at TurboTax. Yeah, so we can take your non-refundable tax credits. Because you're not going to use them. You just want a refund. See, they wave a little couple thousand in your face, even a few thousand in your face. And motherfuckers forget all about longevity. By the time you reach 10 years of work, you should have over $100,000 worth of non-refundable tax credits. Because you know why? You're not rich. You're not making a profit. You're surviving. Everything is an expense. And see, just like this simple information right here will help people get off the tax roller coaster. And Epsom salt will help people get off the fucking amputee roller coaster, because that's what happens to people when they fucking don't take care of their feet. When you don't take care of your feet, they cut your shit off. They remove your soul. You just, that's the definition, the epitome of selling your soul, man. You don't know how important your feet are to your livelihood, to your body. You stop moving, bro, your whole body gonna die. Stop moving. You become stagnant. Niggas start getting sick and sepsis and shit. That's because you ain't moving your lower extremities. They're like pumps, just like your lungs are like pumps. You got these fake ass preachers in these churches talking about the Holy Spirit when they don't even realize that they talking about deep breathing exercises. Or they do and they don't give a fuck. Every day you should purposely breathe. Every day. That means monitor your breathing. Inhale, exhale, how long you hold it, and everything. And that right there is a baptismal. Because you know what it does? It flushes out all your cells. When you deprive your cells of CO2, guess what happens? They get sick. And they get sick and they start puking up everything they have. Puking it out. And then guess what? They need to be replenished. And that's when your body replenishes itself, after it pukes all that shit out. You don't get that from fasting. Not right off. You got to wait fucking weeks in fasting until you hit ketosis to get that. But you can get that shit every day at your house, every morning. When you wake up in the morning, I guarantee people can't do this without fucking almost passing out. But I've been able to do it for a while. Take 20 deep inhales and exhales. Each one, hold your breath for 5 seconds at the inhale. So you would take a deep breath in, full capacity, hold it for 5 seconds. Not no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Do that 20 times. Bro, you will feel a euphoric feeling come up over you. Because what you just now did, you just triggered a cellular fucking detox. And we think that's because, hey, man, I think I got lightheaded. You don't realize that's your cells data dumping all that shit out at once. See, why do you think you feel lightheaded when you run? Because you are limiting the CO2 coming out of your body or coming into your body. Man, we got to rethink everything we doing with this shit, man. This is not even medicine. This is just basic living. Medicine is the shit you go to the doctor to get. You know what I'm saying? This is not medicine. This is shit that you can do for yourself. Like the shit with the athlete's foot. You know that people are dying because of that? We got people that get sepsis because they have severe toenail infection. And they don't realize that underneath their toenail is gangrene. And they think just because it's not falling off, oh, it's all good. Then they go to the doctor and they give them that 2%. And it relieves the pain for a little while, relieves the symptoms for a little while. And then it goes back to the same thing. You got to keep on starting the cycle over again. When you can just kill the shit with 100% of magnesium, and then with a lubricant that's super absorbent. Mix those two things together, put them on your skin, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see shit on your skin starting to pustule, like relieve itself, bro, without you even having to do that. Don't be afraid of that shit. That's the body getting rid of toxins to a point where it has to get rid of it. See, just like these things got into our system, they can leave the same way. They burrow into your skin. Athlete's foot or candida is a fungus that burrows into the skin, gets up under the toenail, lives there, festers, creates spores, and spreads to your entire foot. And then after a certain amount of time, it starts to spread to your bloodstream. And then you get what they call leukemia. Then it starts to spread to the bones. Yeah, then you get bone and blood cancers and shit. Then it spreads from the bones to the muscles. And then you get shit like sclerosis, multiple sclerosis, where the tissues become hardened because they're so infested with bacteria and parasites that the skin is so, it's what they call it, scar tissued up on the inside. But all of that shit can be reversed, man. All that shit can be reversed. Stop walking around listening to these clowns talking about you need to walk around on the grass with your bare feet. Talking about you need fucking the ground. When you ground yourself, that's sapping the energy from you. What happens to a battery if it's constantly being sapped of energy? It becomes a dead battery. That's what you want to become? And then an infested dead battery at that. Because every time you walk on that surface of the ground, you are introducing foreign bacteria, parasites, and matter into your skin tissues or the bottom of your feet, bro. You ever notice when you working out, your feet is the first thing that starts getting sweaty? That's because they're the most active at detoxing the body, your hands and your feet. If you can keep both of those clean, you're doing half the battle right there. And we don't utilize oils no more. We don't utilize oils. We don't consume oil. Everything bad about oil. Oil causes heart disease, cardiac arrest, clogged arteries. Man, they can't be no fucking, there's no way these people are sitting up here telling you that. We are not cold-blooded creatures. Oil is not going to coagulate in our system like that. Oil, if kept at room temperature, is what? Liquid. How does it clog up your arteries? How does it make fatty deposits to clog up shit? And we're always at a healthy temperature of 98.6 degrees. Ain't no oil gonna coagulate and clog up. Man, I don't even know why I'm telling people this, because this shit is common sense stuff. If it ain't oil that's clogging up your fucking system, right? From the greasy foods you eating, what is it? What happens when you take a bunch of fish and you cut off their oxygen supply in a pond? They all die. You ever seen a farmer drain one of his pools that he keep his farm fish in that have all died? He got to take all them fucking fish out of there before he starts draining that pond, because if he don't, them fish is gonna get clogged up in that pipe. Now, what I just told you is the same shit that happens to your heart and your arteries. Same shit. Ain't no but a bunch of dead fish up in that bitch. You trying to suck through a little ass tube. That's what. And look, ain't no temperature gonna cook them down and melt them down so they become viscosity again, so they become the right texture and lubricant to go through your system. No. It's like taking a bunch of tissue and clogging it into a pipe and try to filter water through it. It's gonna stop. It's gonna barely trickle. This is not oil that's causing that, man. That's bacteria that's clogging that shit up. When you got a lot of bacteria in there, it ain't all being processed at the same time. So guess what? It's just freely flowing through your body. Just freely flowing through your body. And this is shit that you can practice and take a look at yourself. If you work out, that means you have exposed veins. For women, they don't have that too much, unless you really, really work out. But guys, You can just do about 20, 30 push-ups, and you'll start to see the veins protruding in your arms and your hands. You know that blood comes from the fingertips up to the body externally. So the veins that you see on the surface is blood that's already been to the fingertips and on its way back up. If you get to the front of that vein and you plug it off, you can actually see where the vein stops getting blood, where it's like clogged. Doctors do it all the time when they get ready to take blood. We think that they putting that strap around our arm to stop the blood flow, but what they're doing is they're just slowing it down enough to where the vein becomes exposed under the skin. That's the same thing that's happening when they say you get clogged arteries. So in order to make that clog, it has to be something solid, not something liquid. Come on, man. But look, I'm over the time frame. I'm done with my walk. My alarm went off and everything. But I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. Every time I do this, I'm going to give you guys a little tidbit because the athlete's foot thing is really bad. Another thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about next time is teeth and cavities. Because y'all, I swear, man, everybody got false teeth right now. I'm 50 and I got all my teeth, all of them. All of them. They white, they straight. You know what I'm saying? They might have some spaces in them, but they're mine. They're my motherfucking teeth. I'm going to keep them bitches in my head as long as I can. You got people younger than me, got all their teeth pulled out. Them niggas walking around with false teeth. And look, it's so bad that they ain't been able to get the implants. They got false teeth like my grandma used to have. Nigga, how you walking around full gums with plastic teeth in your mouth, acrylic teeth in your mouth, and you ain't even 40 yet? Even niggas that's 40 should be ashamed of yourself. 50, 60 should be ashamed of yourself because you ain't took the time to clean your teeth. We're going to talk about that next time. Appreciate y'all. Salutes to the real ones. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hey, and if you want, man, when you guys come in and you want to try to see if you can get some traction over here, drop your link in the chat, man. By all means, brother. You know what I'm saying? All I ask is this right here. Don't be spamming. Drop your shit in the chat once. Don't spam and don't send it. Don't have people going to no porn sites and shit, man. Other than that, salutes to the real ones. Y'all have a good day. I'ma holler at you.